Hi everyone, Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. A quick Disney Plus news roundup. We're going to be talking about Skeleton Crew possibly being delayed until 2024. We'll talk about a new Loki trailer. Plus, also, there's going to be a new Pirates of the Caribbean film. All that and more coming up in today's Disney Plus news. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Okay, so let's kick things off talking about Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is a brand new series which is set to arrive on Disney Plus this year. However, it looks like it has been delayed into 2024 because according to the Byspin Bulletin, it's been pushed back, and I'm going to be honest, this is something I have been expecting to happen because Disney has been very quiet about this show. So earlier this year, when Disney put out its kind of New Year's video showing what was coming up on Disney Plus, it didn't include anything of Skeleton Crew. However, there was one video that went out onto social media that was quickly deleted and was picked up, was the fact that there was a clip of Skeleton Crew in it, but they took it out. And so when the actual trailer went out to everybody, Skeleton Crew wasn't in it. That was my first inkling that the show might not be coming out this year, and this was way back in like sort of New Year's territory. Then at Star Wars Celebration in April, we got to see a little bit of it. Those of us that are in attendance, including myself, the show looks really good. It's all about like a bunch of kids and they're basically kind of traveling across space, and the pirates are after them. These are the pirates from the Mandalorian series that we've recently seen, and this one is going to be part of the upcoming like crossover event film with Ahsoka and also with the Mandalorian, because it's all set around the same kind of time. It's very much kind of like ET-esque. It's kind of got that 80s sort of Stranger Things vibe. Really looking forward to seeing it because it looked really good. So that was what we saw back at Star Wars Celebration in April. And at the time they said it was coming later this year, but we have heard nothing about that coming up. Now obviously the attention right now is on Ahsoka, so I wouldn't expect any kind of major announcements on this kind of coming up. We have got the Destination D23 event taking place this coming weekend, and it is possible that people in attendance might get to see a little bit of it, and they might announce that it's coming this year or give us a date or something like that to kind of get fans into it. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't expect any sort of Star Wars news really until Ahsoka is out the way, because they're going to want all the attention on that show for now. Now, I actually think it has been pushed back to 2024 for a couple of reasons. But the primarily one is Disney are trying to cut their costs. They're trying to reduce the budgets and stuff. So therefore, if you take what they've already filmed, spread it out across a couple of years, they're basically saving money by not having to make new shows. But obviously this is in addition to the actors and the writers' strikes, because the longer this goes on, the more delays are going to be on films and shows not being able to be created. Now at Star Wars Celebration they did announce some films, and that's I think where they're going to be focused on now. They have been doing too many TV shows, and that's been resulting in sort of franchise fatigue, and that's hitting lots of different things, and basically they've been creating too much, and that's been a problem for Lucasfilm. They just can't get their focus right, and so therefore they're pulling back. And in order to slow things down, they've got some shows in the can. They've got Ahsoka, obviously coming out now. You've got Skeleton Crew, and then you've got The Acolyte. They're already filmed, and that's good to go. And obviously they were filming the second season of Andor. That one has been delayed due to the strike. And the fourth season of The Mandalorian was supposed to start like next month, but that ain't happening because of all the strikes and stuff. Who knows about Ahsoka season 2? I mean, I hope so. But yeah, so Skeleton Crew, I think that's going to be pushed back into next year. We'll probably get that and The Acolyte as our two major shows, along with The Bad Batch dropping. So I think that's actually pretty good. I think 2 shows plus an animated series, that is enough. That is easily enough to me. I think 1 series a year is probably all right. 2, great. 3 is you're bordering on pushing it a little bit. I think 2 is probably the best thing for Star Wars now. Give everyone a little bit of a break. So either that, or I said this right way back at New Year's, it wouldn't at all surprise me if Skeleton Crew dropped the first episode on New Year's Eve, like they did with Boba Fett. But now we've got Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I think they might hold it back a little bit past that one. But that's my own just little hint. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think Skeleton Crew has been pushed back to 2024? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. We all know Disney has had a lot of success with the Pirates of the Caribbean films. They've had some huge success. They're all based on the classic Disneyland attraction, which I love. It's one of my favourite ones I love to do. And I love the films. But obviously with everything that's been going on with Johnny Depp, with all the lawsuits and stuff, with his wife and everything like that, there's been this whole thing of like what's going on with this franchise, whether or not he's going to be coming back. And there was even reports of Margot Robbie potentially coming in to be the main actor actor in the series without him. But it looks like we've got a little bit of an update on a film that is now in development, because during a recent interview with the LA Times, Craig Mazin, who is one of the co-writers for the hit HBO series The Last of Us, revealed that he was actually working on a new installment in the franchise before the writer's strike began, and that it was being greenlit by Disney, and one of the conditions that he put on this project that he wanted to work with Ted Elliott, who previously co-wrote the first 4 films in the franchise, obviously not the last one, which didn't do down very well. We pitched it and thought there's no way they're buying it, it's too weird, and they did. And then we wrote a fantastic script, and the strike happened, and everyone's waiting around. So we don't yet know what's going to go on from this one. Hopefully something happens. I love the franchise. Personally, I would like to see Johnny Depp back and kind of carrying on, and maybe kind of get it back on track a little bit and let him go off on some new adventures and stuff. I mean, I don't know necessarily if we need like Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom and stuff back, but I mean, that's a good little group of them to bring back and have that nostalgia feel to it, which kind of feels weird because it's still a recently new movie, but they've been out a while now. But yeah, I just think if you're going to do Pirates of the Caribbean, you kind of need Johnny Depp in there. But that's my own opinion. But what do you think? Should they do a new Pirates of the Caribbean film? Let me know in the comments below. Next month, the Marvel series Loki Season 2 arrives on Disney Plus, and now Disney is kind of getting into the promotional side for this with a new kind of teaser trailer showing off some new footage and kind of showing all kinds of weirdness is going on in it. Just a little bits and pieces in terms of newness. Nothing here we've got really an idea of what's going on other than Loki's like flipping around between time and stuff, and they're trying to track down Kang. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm in that zone now. I watched this trailer and I'm like, I get to a certain point with trailers where I don't really want to watch too many more after I get like the first 2. I kind of want to go in blind. Usually with these kind of things now, we usually end up just seeing all the stuff from the first episode or 2. Because like with Ahsoka, you know, we've not really seen anything of past like episode 3. So, don't know, I'm looking forward to watching Loki when it arrives on the 6th of October, and there'll be new episodes dropping weekly. So let me know, did you think that Loki trailer looked pretty cool? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, with it being Tuesday, let's talk about what's new on at Disney Plus today. So the big new release was a new episode of Only Murders in the Building. So this was released on Disney Plus outside of the US. In the US, it was available on Hulu and on Star Plus in Latin America. So this episode, I think, was a little bit better. It was kind of weird with them all kind of investigating a ghost in the theatre and kind of coming to like realization of what's going on with them. Steve Martin had a whole weird thing with his fish going in the toilet bowl. That was a bit odd. Yeah, I think overall I really enjoyed today's episode. I think it was a lot better than last week's, and we're kind of definitely setting up the tone moving into this like next phase as we go towards the finale. Yeah, I really enjoyed this show. It's a little bit more theatrical, you know, with the whole stage thing coming in, and it definitely, I think, it's pulled a little bit away from that initial feeling of that first one, but I really enjoy it. I think it's a great show. But did you watch it? Let me know in the comments below. Also today we got 2 new classic Oswald the Lucky Rabbit shorts. So these were released before Mickey Mouse. So these are now the oldest thing on Disney Plus, predating Steamboat Willie. In fact, if you don't know who Oswald is, this is the character that Walt Disney created for Universal way back before he even created the company. This is incredible stuff to put this on here. So loving the fact that the 2 episodes are on here. So you've got All Wet and Trolley Trouble. Very old. I mean, you watch this stuff, they're not far off, nearly 100 years old. The animation is a bit crude in places, but it's fascinating to watch from the idea of like, this is some of the early sort of Disney work. Yeah, it's fun to see as well, like Oswald in action, because, you know, I've seen him in like bits and pieces, but actually be able to watch it in high quality. The sound is there. It's been really done really well in terms of the restoration. It's great. It's finally great to see Disney kind of putting some effort into putting out some classic content on Disney Plus. The more of this, the better. Hopefully people check it out. It's just nice to have these kind of shorts dropping onto Disney Plus. A bit of a weird thing with dropping it on a Tuesday, but I think the more releases during the week the better. But let me know which one of the these did you enjoy the most. I think for me, I liked All Wet because it was more like a lifeguard thing and he was trying to rescue them. The trolley one seemed a bit weird, but you could definitely, that one seemed a little bit more ropey in terms of animation. But yeah, let us know what you think of that in the comments below. And our question of the day, which comes from Dana, who says, why couldn't the creator of How I Met Your Father say, give me 6 episodes to wrap up the series? This is completely ridiculous. Not that I watched it, but still feel bad for the actors and the crew. So I think this is definitely a big issue that the studios and stuff need to be more aware of trying to finish off stories and being a little bit more aware of going, look, we're going to close it off. I can see from the point of view of them going, this thing isn't working, we don't want to put any more investment into it, and therefore that's it. But I think it would have made more sense for them just to go, look, okay, we're going to do the third and final season, 10 episodes, 5 episodes, whatever it is, finish the story off, allow them to come to a close. I don't think the studios and stuff are really thinking long term of the damage this keeps happening with these shows being cancelled. I mean, this stuff's been going on for decades. There's loads of shows which never had an ending, and I think with sitcoms, it's always a little bit tricky in terms of doing endings, but I feel like with How I Met Your Father, it kind of desperately needed one. I mean, I don't think the ending, at least they got out of the problem that they had with How I Met Your Mother, which was an awful ending. And then I think back to like Seinfeld wasn't a great ending, and then like Friends wasn't very, generally most of these ones don't end well because you don't want them to end and they want to kind of wrap them up. So going to be weird, I think, with how they've done this. I think it would have been better had they had a final season to kind of wrap it all up and kind of neatly tie it up in a little bow and let everyone kind of finish it off. But yeah, it's just the nature of the beast with business, and yeah, it's just, again, it just makes people not want to connect with these shows. The only trouble is sometimes I do wonder when they say it's the final season, then people might be like, oh, I won't bother getting into it. But then I can see it could go the other way, where you go, oh, well, I know that there's going to be a conclusion, so you're going to watch it. But yeah, so it's very interesting to see how all this comes together. But let us know, what do you think? Remember to go check us out over at whatsonatdisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.